Hey there, class. How's it going? Hope it's going well. I just wanted to help you guys um, get started or set up your file for your storefront designed um, final project. Right, the first part being in this case, the first part being developing um, the existing building, the existing conditions, right? And I'm gonna be working as I was showing you guys last class on this particular area of downtown El Paso. See if I can, work on these Benny's Pawn Shop right here, right? This particular area with the storefront right next to it. Okay, so I'll be using this as a guide, as a reference, and based on this video tutorial that I'm creating for you guys, and the one that I have shared with you guys right here from Kyle online, you should be able to get started. Right. So again, this video it's a great source. It took me actually a while for me to learn these techniques, believe it or not, especially for someone that is coming from a SketchUp background. For me, it was a big change, right? The logic as to how SketchUp and Rhino works. I did not know that you could do this until later on, right? So again, a great source. I have also shared with you guys, for right now, lack of a better source, my personal notes on these videos. These are from the summer on June, I believe. Teaching this class in the summer. But again, until I'm able to transcribe these into a better way, I'll provide you this for you. And again, the idea is that these notes supplement your own personal notes, right? But again, some of the most important notes right here, right? Extracting the surface, right? Working with the ISO curves in order to split the faces. Um, and most importantly, your control shift click and your control drag, click control drag, which again, all of this is going to make much more sense once you go through the video. And again, I'll have a print of these for you guys in class to distribute so that you guys can use and again complement with your own notes. Okay, so again, what I'm going to cover right now, it's after you have gone through this video right here. And what I'm basically going to show you guys is how to use Google Maps, as we have right here, from its what's it called, aerial view, in order for you to get the foundation, kind of sort of literal, right? I mean, where to sit your selected storefront. In this case, we're working right here. And what we're particularly concerned with, right, and I'm going to move this slide over here a little bit to the side, is this bar right here. Okay, this is called your graphical scale right here. And this is the main source that we have in order to somewhat accurately obtain some measurements off of Google Maps in this case. But again, you will see these graphical scales in all sorts of drawings. And again, I'll explain a little bit more as to what they are. So here we are. The first thing to do would be to find your particular site. In this case, this place right here for me, between, or it's right on El Paso and Overland. Find it on Google Maps, right? And then what we are going to do is going to do a screen capture, right? So I can go to our snipping tool right here. If you're on a Mac, much easier. You can do the print screen on Windows, but I'd rather do the snipping so that I actually only capture what I need. Right, so I'll do this right here, a selection. Right, and so far so good. File. Well, you can just do a save from there. I'm gonna create a new folder on my desktop. Storefront design. Right. Open it, and then we call this um, um, aerial site. All right. Okay. Okay, so the only thing that we have done is saved an image onto a folder on our computer. Great. Now, what we're going to do is to bring this image onto Rhino. And so what I would recommend is go to File, New. In this case, I don't want to save those changes. And let's start off with a template, your large feet. All right, large objects. How about large objects, feet and inches, since we are working with some sort of feet and inches units. And there we go, right? Again, never a bad habit, just to double check. Unit, enter. Unit, enter. Feet and inches, good, right? Do double check that, right? It's a lot of times, that later on you realize that things are off because we're working with some random or some, either centimeters, millimeters, or even some other weird, wow, light years. That's interesting. Some other units that for us, they're not very helpful. So again, Rhino, right? Your multi-view ports right here. You should be very familiar with this by now. And what we're going to use our picture command. We're going to go onto the folder that I just created. I think it was storefront design, and we're going to look for the image that I had just saved, and it's not there. So I'm not sure why, but I'm going to go ahead and do that one more time. Right, and I'm doing this live right now, so bear with me. Right, so we're going to save this. Let me just double check. That is right. Huh. Okay. Aerial site. Okay, this works now. Go back to Rhino. There it was, but I'll go ahead and type the command again. So again, it's picture. Enter. We look for the folder, storefront design, aerial design. Let's go ahead and click open. Now, this is important. Let's go ahead and do the first corner of picture on your top view, right? And we'll insert it, right? How big? It does matter, but we're going to set that manually, okay? So let's go maximize your top viewport, right? Now, what we need to do is to scale this image using this this graphical scale, which it gave me meters right here. I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure that you can actually, there you go, right? So if you click on it, as I'm doing right now, it changes from feet to meters. So you know what? I'm going to redo the insertion of this one more time, so that I have the right units. Snip tool, whoops, new, select your area. That's why I like using the snip tool more than the print screen, so that I don't have all that, clutter around my screen right there. Save it. I have the name file right there, so I'm just going to click on it so I can replace it. A message should show up. I want to replace it. Yes. And we exit out of here. Minimize this. Type picture one more time. Select the image. Click open. Click first corner and click somewhere else for the next corner. Now, this is the important part right here, right? Your 20 feet bar. And I'm going to jump onto the red layer right here. I'm going to type line, right? And I'm going to just measure, right? And the reason that I'm drawing this right here is so that I have a more accurate, visually, I can show you guys what I'm trying to do, right? I'm going to copy this line, right? I'm going to bring it right here. Notice how I'm centering it on the bar right there, right? I'm centering somewhere in between. And it's important to understand as well that we're doing our best right here, right? This is not going to be 100% accurate. We're working with an image reference, and we're working with this graphical scale right here, but it'll be fairly accurate especially for our intended purposes. Okay, so if you go ahead and type distance, and I'm using my O-snap right there from end to end, you see it says that it's 3 feet 8 inches and a quarter of an inch, this bar. Well, that is not right, right? Because it should actually be how much? 20 feet. Okay, so here is how we are going to fix this. We're going to type scale, right? Select the image and those two little lines that we drew right there, right? Notice that it gets turned yellow because it's highlighted. Press enter. And we're going to do what's called a scale by reference. Ready? So we're going to click there and there. And we're telling Rhino, hey Rhino, from there to there, it should actually be, and I'm going to enter it right here with my keyboard, 20 feet, right? 20, and your apostrophe right there on the top, enter. Okay, so things got a little bit bigger. I type distance one more time, and I measure, right, from there to there. And ta-da, 20 feet, right? So this is not right. What does that mean? That means that I can actually go into this image, type distance, and for example, what's what's the length of this, what's the width of Overland Street right here? Well, right now I'm on ortho, but if I turn on or turn off ortho, right, and I pull a line right there, more or less, Overland Street is going to be about 25 feet, right? So again, pretty accurate for what we're doing right now. So what does this tell me? Well, if I type distance one more time, it tells me that the storefront that I'm working with, and I'll show you guys here one again, which one is it? One more time. Get the little guy right here, which is this guy right there, right next to a Tricky Falls, this yellow storefront right there, right? So we have this volume right there, bigger volume right there. So come over here, I type distance. So more or less that storefront is about 21 feet, right? And I'm measuring, right, from more or less from that corner to this corner right there. So you guys should already have measurements from your site, right? So this is where corroboration works great, right? Let's say in your site, while you were there, it measured, I don't know, maybe rather than 21, it was 23 or 19. But it's a really good way to cross-reference, right, your information. So what does this allow us? Well, if we go on to perspective, right, you have now a place where to start, right, drawing your storefront, right, in this case for this particular project, right? So I'll go ahead and click on top view right here one more time. Okay, so we can something that perhaps it would be helpful. I know at least for me, right? Right now, this image is being displayed true north. Right, we have our little north arrow right there. For me, something that perhaps would help is to have this aligned. What do I mean? Well, El Paso Street, right, to actually be orthogonal. So that's really simple to do, right? I'm going to do a line just so you guys can see that reference. I'm going to turn off object snap for right now, and I'm going to make sure that ortho is on, right? So what do I mean? That if I do, let's say, a line from there to there, I type rotate this image, right? Let's say now I'm going to turn back OSNAP again from there, and OSNAP ortho, I turn it off to there, right? And OSNAP again on. Oops, it was on to there, right? I have it orthogonally, and let's check it one more time. Again, we do the best that we can with what we have, and it's pretty much there. I'm going to select that right there. If I type copy, right? All right. And then, for example, you can start learning that, our sidewalk is about 16 feet wide, right? From there to there. Okay. So then from there, right, we can start drawing uh, our site. Right? So if I type, let's say, line right here, I'm holding shift, and then let's say I do that, and then I'm going to turn on mirror in this case. right? We do that right there. I have another line over here, right? I do that. And by now you guys have gone through a number of commands, right, in Rhino that can help you draw this better, right? My image is on default. I'm gonna lock it right now so that I don't select it, right? If I don't have it locked, right, I can move it easily. That's kind of annoying, right, because it closes off. So I'm gonna undo and lock my image right there, and I can go through this, right? Select that right there. Um, no, I can copy. Let's say this is the same angle over here. Not really. Should be if I select this right here, and if I click mirror, well, I'm gonna rotate first, right, that and that from there, and then mirror this there, and then I'm gonna click move, and I get sort of that right there, and I only need actually these two right there from there to there. Right, more or less. And actually you can see that there's a few things off. Now I can use my fillet command right here with radius. Let's say I'm gonna set my radius to be somewhere, I don't know, let's try 5 feet, right? Somewhere there. And then do this and then do that, right? Maybe I'm gonna undo, let's do something bigger. Do 15 feet. Oops. Fillet radius 15 feet. A little bit better. Enter, maybe repeat that. Have that right there, that right there, that right there. Right, and again, it's an approximate, right? So don't get too caught off if it's not, exactly 100% accurate. And even though we're not doing, the entire block, perhaps this might be too much. I'm just gonna close it off by bringing it, let's say, to there and to there. I'm gonna type trim, right, and these two right there, trim. Now I'm going to type join. Oops, I skipped one. Right, remember that these need to be continuous. Right, so we have that right there. All right. Okay, so now what? Well, now that means that we can type extrude, right, TRB, and right, good. Actually, I'll leave it wireframe, and let's say 6 inches, right, and that's going to give us, right, our sidewalk, right. Let's say that I am going to add, right, let's add now the asphalt, right. The asphalt is just the street, right, and I'll talk more about some of this in a minute, right. So I'm going to delete that, and then, right, so I'm going to extrude TRB. Now I'm going to extrude this one down, let's say about 2 feet, just so that graphically I can see it, right? And I'm going to move that plus that downward -6 inches, so that actually I can still see the image right there on the top. Okay, and let me work with layers so that this makes all a little bit more sense. Default, I'm going to turn this into ref image. Layer red is going to turn into sidewalk. Layer purple is going to turn into asphalt, meaning the street. So then this guy right there turns into asphalt. Sidewalk stays the sidewalk. It helps for me to add colors. Reference image, I usually do a light gray so that it's doesn't really matter since that one's gonna get turned off. As a matter of fact, I'll turn it off for right now. Sidewalk, I do like gray, and for the asphalt, I do a really dark or a dark gray. All right. Okay. All right. So we have that. Let's turn back on our image. Okay, and let's go back to our top. Okay, so as you can see, right, this storefront, it's about this. And even remember, we're only working with the storefront, so even just bringing it all the way back here is not really necessary. But for right now, I'll do that. Now we need to give a height to this. For right now, I'll show you guys what I would do. Right. For right now, let's just say I'm looking at this area right here. Right. Let's do right now 20 feet. My height. And I'm gonna send this to the blue layer right now. We'll name it in a minute. All right, send this guy red there. All right, so we're there. All right. So that is going to turn into this right here. A little a little something that we could do that can help us as well, right? From your images, you should perhaps have a clear image, but I'm gonna try working with this one right here on Rhino. Okay, on Rhino on Google Maps. So I go to Snip Tool, New, select this one right there, save it. Right, I don't have images of there. I did not go and take photographs like you guys did, so I'm just going to use this front elevation right here. Uh, front remap front front elevation, and then I more or less right cross-reference this right here. I go back to Rhino. I'm gonna go into my my right view. I'm going to type picture. I'm gonna bring in the image, right? Open it right here, right? Now the name of this game, right, is to scale, right? So I'm going to move, right, so I can show you, right? I'm going to move this image from that corner to this corner right there, right? Because this image needs to grow right from there to fit here. Type scale, right? Click on that image, and then I'm holding shift and turn off OSnap. Right, actually, I'm gonna do it from the top view right here. Right, it's kind of lose track of my image. There we go. Right, from there it needs to snap, and then I turn back on OSnap, right, to snap there. Okay, and I'm gonna maximize my right. Okay, so you can actually see, well, okay, that right, that box needs to grow, right? So I can type scale 1D, that means in one direction, so that I can scale that guy, right, to grow, which is to that height right there, right? And that's that guy right there. Now we do have some neighbors, okay? I'm gonna type copy. I'm gonna send that image again to my ref image, and you see that automatically it has been locked. I'm gonna type copy. All right, I'm gonna type that guy right there, and that guy right there. Now this guy, scale 1D, it's shorter, right? So I'll bring it more or less there. Let's say 31 feet. Right? Again, I'm trying to match this image, right? And this guy right here, it's a little bit smaller, so I type scale 1D, that guy from there to there. And again, it's about there. So I look right here onto my command line right there, and it's actually about 29 feet, right? So it's somewhere there. Turn off that. Okay. So let's go ahead and try that, right? And well, here, one more thing before we leave, right? I'll type scale 1D, right, to fix this guy right there, because that guy is only, that only goes up to there, you see, and I can type distance, right? That's so I would actually do it closed off. It was 17 and 11 with some weird dimensions. It's just let's do 18 feet, right? So from there to there, 18 feet, okay. And I'll turn off the images right there. And this is called just a massing, right? This is just the mass of them. We still have to go in there and add a little bit of detail, right? Some of these openings right here, right there, because this is the existing. Remember, that's what we're working with. So go ahead and try that. Give yourself a plane, right? If you think about it, this is now the views that you'll be developing or creating, well, setting up the views that you'll be setting up in order to export your images. Okay, so go ahead and try that, and we'll meet again in order to get you guys started on how to break this geometry again using the information and the commands and knowledge right from this video. All right, try these notes right here. Okay, guys, go ahead and try that. Meet you back. Let's do